Well, you know, sometimes things can get a little, what I call ridiculous. But I just kept going into organizations asking for mission statement. I'd go into public level seminars, ask for a mission statement. Nobody knew it. So I was doing a project for a large federal agency in the United States, part of national security actually. And so I got to where I would usually cover this topic right after the first break. So I'd ask, does anybody have their mission? No one would have it. So then I would go, okay, I'll offer $20 US for a copy of your mission. At lunch, we'd come back, nobody would have it. I'd say, okay, I'll be up to $50 for the afternoon break. Come back, nobody would have it. That just amazed me that nobody knew or somehow didn't know how to go find their mission statement. And so after that first day of just no response, I went ahead online, looked at the agency, because I had a copy of their mission statement. I had to devise the materials I was working on. And there it was, US XYZ agency, mission. They had a very well-developed set of vision, goals, entity-wide objectives, because they had a whole bunch of agencies under this umbrella agency. And this particular segment there was in very clear, concise, easy to see on their web, their mission statement. So that kind of got to be my thing with that agency. I trained about 300 of their auditors, and each time I go into the group, I'd say, here's, put $20 on the table, $50 on the table, 100. I got up to 100 before, and nobody ever brought it. So then I would read it aloud, and they'd say, where'd you get this? I'd say, I got it right off of your website. And it would always be amazing that they just could not bring to me a copy of their mission, even with the law of money. But by the time I was done, their policy person got involved and, you know, just distributed to everyone. Says, you must know our mission. How in the world else are we going to do anything adequate with internal controls? So, you know, sometimes you have to make the wave, offer money to individuals, and then get the right people involved. And this last session I did in Johannesburg, I did with a very seasoned and bright man in combined assurance. And he was amused at the first day I started offering to pay for somebody in the group to bring their mission statement. He kind of chuckled at it, and nobody did. And these weren't auditors. That kind of threw him, because he's a long-term seasoned auditor, and we were dealing with what we were anticipating was a lot of auditors, but ended up being other type of control individuals. So the morning of the second session, he's sitting in his presentations on the third day. He started reminding people, he's offered you money to come do your mission statement. Nobody brought it. When he did his session on Wednesday, the third day, he was amused because still no one, I had gotten up to 100 Rand, no one had brought their mission statement. And so I said, Steve, his name's Steve Roberts from PricewaterhouseCoopers, and I said, Steve, the last time I was here, I did a session, and there were a lot of auditors in the room. And there was a young lady from a large accounting firm. And I won't say the name because it may be yours, but anyway. I got up to 100 Rand on the first day. Nobody took me up on it. And I usually get to my sessions about, 45 minutes to an hour early. So the next morning I'm there about 45 minutes early, and this young woman comes in the room. And she says, has anyone brought you the mission statement yet? And I said, no. So she laid her copy on the desk and verbatim just recited it. She didn't have to look at the piece of paper. So I said, do you want the 100 Rand? She said, yes, sir. So I said, okay, reached in and gave her the Rand. I wasn't in any way reluctant about giving her the money I had promised. She said, no, I'm going to take this and put it in my drawer so that I can remind myself that it took an instructor in a course to offer me money before I ever looked at my organization's mission statement. And I'm like, okay. She said, no offense taken. I said, no offense. And I said, no offense taken. She said, since I've read this thing, she said, it has revolutionized my perspective on our organization. She said, I've been doing work for this organization for 5 years, serving clients, dealing with their controls, our controls, and no one had ever mentioned to me our mission statement. And she said, and it has crystallized to me this process of internal control, that if you don't know mission, you really can't be dealing effectively with controls, risk, objectives, and back up the chain. And I said, yep. And she just said, I'm going to keep this money in my desk, and when I forget, I'm going to open my drawer and look to remember I had to be paid by an outside individual, an instructor, to do this, but since I've done it, it has revolutionized my perspective. And you know, it's connecting with people like her and others that make my job worth doing.